Good morning, everyone. This is week 2 of March and week 2 of autumn, and look how magnificent it looks today. It's wonderful. Yesterday we returned to our beach. Yeah, we do weekly beach visits all year round here at Fruitopia, but believe it or not, there's been so much whinging going on from people because of summer ending, and I reckon it's bloody too cold. Wimps. We call them sooks here in Australia. It's too bloody cold. Anyway, we had a whole week of overcast, wet weather last week, and now it's all over. We're back to warm sunshine. That's how it goes here in Melbourne between March and October. It's 1 week on, 1 week off. So if only people understood that, they would feel better. So today's video, guys, will be an update on what's new in the garden. What's new is, well, this dragon fruit. We're getting dragon fruit flowers coming. This has been flowering every year for the last 3 years, but it's never fruited. I'm not sure what variety it is, but it always brings us lots of beautiful flowers. I've been meaning to put it into another location. It's not very good here, up against the shed and up against the mandarin tree, as you can see. Too close for comfort, but I have it staked to the ground. It's in a pot, and it's gonna be a 2 or 3 man job to move it away from there. So that's new. Dragon fruit is ready to flower. The other thing that's new is this wax jambu. After giving me a few years of endless problems, has decided to give its first fruit, or so it seems. Wax jambu or rose apple, and never had much luck with this guy here. He doesn't like water, even though it's a water apple, water rose apple. It doesn't like water, even in summer. So I think the main problem here is why I haven't had any success and why the leaves continuously get sad and drop. It even lost a whole branch here over summer. Look at that. In summer, not winter. It's because of overwatering. And I've only watered it as much as the other trees in pots, these guys here, and none of them have had a problem except a wax jambu. Same amount of water. This is the pomegranate I bought about a year and a bit ago. The Azerbaijani Guloska. It's had a pretty good season in the pot. I'm hoping to put this in the ground next spring. So that's done quite well. Pomegranate does really well here in our temperate climate. We haven't had any avocados from the Hass fall in the last couple of weeks. So it looks like we're going to be getting around 120 in summer next year. Summer 2020, 2021. So that's pretty good. I'm pretty stoked about that. Those which fell. And well, that's the update on that. And pretty much the same on the other avocados. Completely covered all around. So if you have the room, go for the Hass, guys. Go for the Hass. Only if you have room. It's a huge tree. Do not plant this tree in a pot. If you want to put it in a pot, get the lamb Hass, not the Hass. It's gigantic. So heads up. on these guys. They're big, very, very big. With the drumstick, the Moringa, bad news. Something's been eating the leaves. Look at that. Wipeout. Look at that. Something's been eating the leaves. So instead of going forward, it's gone backwards. Look at that. All the leaves are stripped. Stripped. I'm guessing it's a snail or snails. Every branch. Look at that. Stripped. Like a strip search. Look at that. So sad. Sad news. I don't know what to do about this now. The Moringa. This tells me it's best to start these in pots, away from the snails. I have no control of snails here in the ground. So I'm pretty much mixing it up in this video, from good news to bad news, and back to good news and back to bad news. That's how it is in gardening. This is good news. This is the pepino. Look at it. I don't know what to do with it. It's gone crazy. It's the opposite of the Moringa. Why aren't the snails here? Well, they're trying, but I don't think they're gonna have any chance with all this. Huh? I dare them to eat this pepino forest all the way down to the end on both sides. So yeah, pepino has exceeded itself, not only here but also over here, all across, way too much pepino. Washington navel tree has also gone berserk this summer. It looks like it's doubled in size. It hasn't doubled, but it just looks like it, and we're getting a ton of oranges from this guy in winter. Yeah, a lot of oranges coming in June. This is June, a June orange tree. That means winter, guys. Remember, June is winter here. It's massive. 3 meters wide by 3.5 meters tall. Some more good news is from this ginger here. I planted this ginger last year here in this location around these bananas that my friend gave me last summer, a year and a bit ago, and I'm stoked. I'm equally stoked with the ginger as I am with the fruit trees, because look at it, it's beautiful. This is ornamental ginger, and here's another one ready to open right here. I bought 4 different varieties of ginger, ornamental. So look at that, lovely, beautiful. There's the macadamia nuts. Look at that, macadamia nuts on this 10 to 11-year-old tree, which I planted as a seedling, a little stick. So it's getting better every year. Very slow, very slow. We had nothing for 9 years, yeah. And last year it gave us the first nuts, and now it's giving us about a dozen. So this is standing at a ridiculous 5 meters in height, and I keep trimming it, guys, and it's a losing battle. So I'm giving you another heads up. I'm really helping you guys here in Melbourne or in a temperate climate zone. Be aware, be aware. These guys like to grow big, real big. Okay, this is like 5 meters, no joke. Macadamia nut. Some good progress on the papaya. Look at that. Since I showed you a few weeks ago, finally This is what we want. This is what we wanted back in January. And like I told you back in January, this would happen in March. The papaya would take off, right? But it's getting cold now, guys. It's cooling down, let's put it that way. It's no longer in the 30s. We're in the, well, the temperature now is between 18 and 28. And you might say, wow, that's great if you're in the UK. Not if you're trying to grow a papaya, it's not. Maybe if you're trying to grow a plum. But with papaya, 18 to 28 is fine. But you don't want anything lower than that. And guess what? At night, the temperature here drops to 8 and 9 degrees. That's the problem right there. The nighttime temperatures. So you can have 28 during the day, but if you're going to have 8 at night, this guy's going to say, ooh, too cold at night. But nevertheless, it's doubled in height in the last month. So I'm pretty happy about that. And there's the other one, which is also done equally as well. I'm not showing you what varieties they are. I've done that before. This is more of a progress update rather than a labeling of what I'm showing. So again, it's doubled in size in the last month, which is excellent, which is what we wanted back in January, 2 months ago, right? Not March 9, but January 9. And it didn't happen. It doesn't happen, guys. At the height of summer, these just sit there. They don't do much at all. They're getting established. The roots are getting into the ground and doing their stuff. But there's not much growth during that first month in summer. Here in Melbourne, we're talking about, in the temperate climate. I don't know what happens up in far north Queensland. But this will turn out to be a little too little, too late in late April, early May. I'll show you this guy in 2 months, around May 10. You won't believe it. You'll say, wow, you got it spot on. How did you know? I've been doing this for 10 years with papayas, and they're a pain in the butt, even though here it's protected with a microclimate. You can't get more protection than this. I've given it the ultimate buffer of plants all around. Buffering from wind, buffering from hot sun, buffering from cold, and buffering from frost. Mr. Papaya, especially for him. A lot of work. I set up this thermometer 2 days ago. The time right now is 12 midday. 12 midday. And it's 21 Celsius. That's 70 Fahrenheit. So I know what the temperature is at here underneath the ice cream bean. The microclimate. The Cherimoya are coming along nicely here. They're still very small, but bountiful. I counted about 20. I don't know if they're going to hang on, but it's looking pretty good. Pretty good. Very small, but around 20 of them. So I'm very stoked. This is without any hand pollination. Where's the other guy? Here he is. Under here. Yeah. There. So pretty happy about the Cherimoya. Hands-free results. It's what we want. The Pavan mango is still holding a panicle. And also a couple of small fruit here. And a few there. So I don't know what's going to happen with these, but like I said already, I'm gonna let the mangoes do their own thing, guys. I'm not gonna interfere. I learnt my lesson. Still waiting on the Longan. I don't know what the Longan wants to do. It seems to be hanging on here for like 3 months. This guy's been hanging on here since Christmas. What do you think about that? So, the same with his mates here. I mean, they've grown, they've doubled, maybe tripled in size, but boy oh boy, 3 months? What? Okay, this is the first season that I've had this tree. It's looking good. I'm looking for new growth though. There's no new growth. So I don't know if the new growth comes from the panicles or from the old growth, just like the lychee. So we'll have to wait and see, but that's the state of affairs with the Longan. Black sapote is doing wonderful. Look at that. Look how healthy it looks. Wow. Wow. This is the one that almost died on me 3-4 years ago, that I put back in the ground, and it came good. This is one of 3 black sapotes. Doing so well. Beautiful. High hopes for this. And it's got one little fruit. Where is it? Where are you? There it is there. That one there. There. One little fruit. Black sapote. Chocolate pudding fruit tree. This is a small rack of bananas which opened a month ago. I've shown you these already, and they're growing nicely, coming along nicely. Out behind the Fuerte avocado, next to the winter orange, which I showed earlier, and next to the sugar cane. Still no flowers on the starfruit, carambola. Still nothing, but it's getting a lot of new growth. That's what we want, guys. We want growth. More than anything, growth. It's at 2.5 meters now, so 8 feet. And I'm pretty happy about the growth. The flowers should be coming any day now. Going by the last 5 years of experience. Bell, white sapote is flowering, as I said it would in the previous video. Here you go. Let me go around the other way. It's very tight in here. Whew. And I've got the persimmon net. There you go. Bell, white sapote, flowering for the 3rd year in a row. Hasn't fruited yet, so let's hope it gives us its first fruit this coming season. It's also at 2.5 meters, like the starfruit, but grown a lot quicker than the starfruit. Oh my gosh, what a difference in growth. Similar results from this 3rd variety of papaya. Also grown really well in the last month, but like I said, should have been back in January that we had this result, not in March. So it's like 2 months behind. It should have been up to here by now in height, at least that high by now, and that's where it will be in May. In May it's going to be another 12 inches taller. But guess what happens in May here in our climate? Frost. Every night we get frost. Yep. May is frost. May, June, July, August, September. Frosty nights. And this is in-ground. Next to it, similar results also from the Panama berry or strawberry tree, as you call it in America. I've reached the limit of the 4K file. I'll be back with part 2, guys. So, as I was saying, the Panama berry has done really well too. But these are very cold sensitive plants. Papaya and this one, and Moringa. And I haven't even shown you the ultra tropicals. I haven't looked at those because, well, we're going to do a separate video on those. So this one here has done well too. Let's just hope that it handles the first frosts in late April. This is the peanut butter fruit tree that I've had for the last couple of years, and actually for a year and a half I've had it. It's also sending out flower blooms or flower buds, and it's looking really healthy. Peanut butter fruit. I'm not kidding you. That's what it's called. Peanut butter tree. See? You didn't believe me, did you? And it goes without saying that the little guavas here are doing great. Not only do they love hot summer, but they don't mind the cold either. They're a bit sensitive to hard frost, of course, because they're semi-tropical, but they're doing great. I won't get too close with them, but I'll report that all 4 of them are great. The Mexican cream, the China pear, Malaysian red, and the purple guava, all flying high, flying colors. Look at that. What more can I say? And above them, the native Australian tamarind, flying high as well. Like, outstanding results. I was getting a little worried back in summer because a lot of the lower leaves down here were getting scorched by those heat wave days we had, 40, anything over 38. 38 and above is a killer for certain plants, and rightfully so. And this was one of them that didn't really appreciate 40, 42, 43, 44. And thankfully, now that it's over, the heat wave's over, it just shot up again. In the last 2 weeks, it's done all that up there. It's a whole meter. 3 feet of new growth in the last month, since the end of the heat wave. And now I can tell you that the tree, which was right here back in spring, at the beginning of spring last year, back in September last year, September 2019, it was there, right? Almost at the same level as my face, which is 1.5 meters. Now it's 4.5. It's 4.5 meters. It's tripled in height since September 2019. All this here, that part there is new at the end of summer. Thanks very much. Beautiful. Australian native tamarind. That's going to be another one of the canopies that I'm going to have to protect what gets planted here, well, what's already planted here, for the coming years in this new zone, protection zone. And as I showed you in the last video, the bananas here are doing really well. It looks like these ones will be the first ones to be ready. The Goldfinger. These are Goldfinger variety. Really nice. And these ones here are Ducasse variety. And they look like they're the biggest ones too. And then we have another rack behind it, which is a Rajapuri, and another Ducasse right there. So all in all, 4 racks in the circle, and a little one that opened here a month ago, but that's not doing much at all, just a little baby. Here's the banana circle as it's looking now in early autumn. All these new bananas coming. These are going to be next summer's stars, producing lots of banana racks. And this is this year's stars, which I showed you from the other side. And then when we come through here around the circle to the steps here, we have another banana rack opening. I think I showed you this last week, but now it's ready to open. Ready to open. Beautiful. And I've got a few decorative tropicals also around here, palms and lilies and bougainvilleas, which are ready to flower, finish flowering, all kinds of mixes. Tamarillos here, which I have as reserve stock. A little banana here as an ornamental. Some more lilies. Our apples, check it out. Yep, apples, and a couple of tropical magnolias, one there and one here. These have an amazing perfume, stunning perfume, and they do great here. Even in winter they flower. I have these in pots. Here's an update on the Glen Mango, which I have here in the front. The one that gave us, the only one that's given us any fruit, about 4 years ago. I've had it for 5 years, and seems to be very happy. It didn't give us anything this summer, but it grew. And that's better than getting fruit, guys, believe it or not. Getting a tree, a hard to grow tree like this, to flourish is better than getting a fruit. Trust me. Look at those bananas. Amazing, huh? I don't know why everyone in Melbourne doesn't have them. So easy to grow. This is the Surinam cherry, which I've had for about 5 years also. In ground, but it's never fruited for us. It's never fruited. However, look at this comeback from the heat wave we have. This doesn't like heat waves. It doesn't like cold. It likes perfect weather. It likes temperatures to be between 18 and 30. Anything else, it'll let you know. Anything below and above. Surinam cherry. Pitanga, I think it's also known as. It's a beautiful looking tree. And whilst we're here in the driveway, we have the first banana flower coming out of all of them, right there. Last week it showed itself, and it's going to be opening over the next week. So pretty happy about that. It's nice to have banana racks in the driveway. That way people passing by can get ideas, or get an idea that they too can grow bananas here in a temperate climate. I've had bananas growing here in the driveway for the last 3 years. Easy. In about 2 or 3 weeks, the lemon guava will be ready. We call those yellow cherry guava here in Australia. And I've got 2 of these trees, a big one and a little one. This is the little one, and that's what they look like when they're green. They're cherry size guavas and very sweet, very, very good. Another one that should be growing here in a temperate zone. And check out my neighbor's pomegranate tree right above it. He's got the wonderful variety, and it looks like one of them's almost ready. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's a big one, ready to crack. Yeah, he's got about, I don't know, looks like a dozen pomegranates over the fence. Thanks very much, neighbor. My pomegranates didn't do much fruit-wise over summer, but they grew, especially this one. This one doubled in size in 3 months, so I'm really happy about that. That one, almost the same, but there was growth. So we might be getting 1 fruit. Yeah, maybe. So that's the pomegranate situation. First wampies are ready to ripen, to turn. You can see they're turning yellow. These guys here, there's about half a dozen of them. So they also come around the same time as the lemon guava. Wampy. Subtropical. Our first Paxton prolific has finally arrived. It came last week, right on the first day of March. Yep, that's when they start fruiting in Melbourne, by self-pollination, not by hand pollination. So I'm pretty stoked. We'll get about a dozen of these coming up over March and April. Custard apple is back. Really happy to see the 2 passion fruit vines growing well here in the front yard up against the house. I'm gonna have to add some more wire up there over the, well, probably in spring. Doesn't look like that's gonna get any higher because the growth season is coming to an end in about a month. Still enjoying white sapotes. First ones off the rank. The Hawaiian Supreme. Every day. Every day. Beautiful. Early season white sapote. Very sweet, very crunchy, very sugary. And there you go, guys. White sapote, delicious. Here, more bananas. I've planted so many bananas, I'll never, ever have to buy bananas again. Look at that. And you can do the same. A whole rack. Where am I? Melbourne or Hawaii? What do you think? So, I hope you've enjoyed this extra long 2-part video on Fruitopia at the beginning of March. I've had to cover the Hicks Fancy, Mulberry, the top half, some delicious mulberries here, black ones, because the birds get them every morning when I'm sleeping. There they are, in there. So, just doing my best I can with a half net. Yeah, so, as I was saying, I hope this is inspirational for you guys to get out there and start planting tropical, subtropical fruit trees in your temperate, warm temperate, cool temperate, any temperate zone. Here's the Indian guava making a comeback. These are usually ready at the beginning of winter, end of May, June, and we always get about 100 of them. I don't know what to do with them. There's so many. These are not sweet though. These are sour, mostly sour. 80% sour, 20% sweet. But I'm not gonna reject any guava, because guava can be, it's a multi-purpose fruit. You can have it green, you can have it sweet, just like bananas. So just remember that with guava. And just like the black mulberry, the white mulberries are coming back too, for a second flush now in autumn. Remember, I've told you that they come twice a year. They come in November at the end of spring, and they come in March in the early autumn. So we're gonna get, well, we already are getting thousands of mulberries. Again, a second visit. But the thing is, massive bird problems. So I'm gonna have to put a net on this big boy again in a couple of weeks. This is really amazing. The pineapple guava or feijoa is still flowering on this unknown variety I have here in the driveway. It's flowering again. It's been flowering since November. It's flowering whilst it's holding fruit. This will be coming in May. So very strange to see flowers on the pineapple guava in autumn whilst it's holding young fruit. This is the main variety, which I have 3 of, and these are loaded, absolutely loaded all over. They're still pretty small. In a month from now you'll be able to see big pineapple guavas hanging off this, and there's literally 200 or 300 on this one, and another 200 on this one, the one that's next to the guava there. And then the main pineapple guava I have in the backyard. This is the main lemon guava, which is shot up and skyrocketed ever since I trimmed the tops. Whenever you trim these guys, they shoot up again, and when they shoot up again, they shoot out new fruit, new flowers. So that's loaded. This is absolutely, it's always loaded. This is my favorite guava, guys, the lemon guava, so-called yellow cherry guava in Australia. It's getting bigger every year. I love it. So now it all makes sense why I love autumn more than summer, especially when these guys are almost ready to pick. It's starting to make sense. It's all coming together. This is the jujube, which should be ready also like the lemon guava in about 2 weeks. Can't wait. Love the jujube. Okay guys, I'm going to wrap it up now. Hope you enjoyed this extra long video. This is the pineapple guava from Hawaii, the Hawaiian pink. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you from the next video.